Oscar nominations, terrifying found-footage performances, and universally panned films saved by unlikely stars. When it comes to M. Night Shyamalan's horror movies, this director has a secret weapon. There are few directors with a more polarizing reputation than M. Night Shyamalan. After the success of his breakout hit, The Sixth Sense, Shyamalan was immediately placed atop a pedestal that has cast a shadow over his career ever since. Newsweek even boldly declared him the next Spielberg in 2002. While Shyamalan catches a lot of heat from critics and audiences alike, he's also capable of providing some of the most thrilling, unique, and compelling stories on screen today. While horror was not the first genre Shyamalan directed, it's the one that has brought him the most success. His most recent movie, Knock at the Cabin, is an apocalyptic thriller starring Ben Aldridge, Jonathan Groff, Dave Bautista, Rupert Grint, and Nikki Amuka Bird. The film also features a performance that allows Shyamalan to flex his strongest directorial muscles, thanks to Kristen Shui, who stars as Aldridge and Groff's daughter, Wen.
My name's Leonard. Well, it's nice to meet you, Wen.
When it comes to directing children in horror movies, no one does it quite like M. Night Shyamalan. Even if one of his films receives critical scrutiny, Shyamalan has a gift for bringing out the best possible performances from his young actors. If Knock at the Cabin is at all faithful to the novel it's based on, The Cabin at the End of the World, there's a good chance that Kristen Shui will join the esteemed ranks of young performers that absolutely shine in front of Shyamalan's camera. The Sixth Sense is the movie that put Shyamalan on the map, and it also made Haley Joel Osment the most recognizable child in a horror film since Linda Blair in The Exorcist. With a lesser director, Osment's character runs the risk of coming off as precocious or even whiny, but with Shyamalan's directorial vision, the film is a masterpiece. For his performance, Osment won a Saturn Award and earned nominations for an Academy Award, a Golden Globe, and a Screen Actors Guild Award, all before he turned 12. As much as Bruce Willis and Toni Collette deserve credit for their fantastic performances in The Sixth Sense, the film would be nothing without Osment's captivating performance. The emotional depth, maturity, and commitment shown by Osment is unparalleled, and he delivers a performance that most adults can only dream of matching.
I see dead people.
Abigail Breslin and Rory Culkin have both gone on to star in some pretty high-profile projects, but their early career performances and signs are worth revisiting. Culkin had his breakthrough role 2 years prior in the drama You Can Count on Me, while Breslin made her feature debut in Shyamalan's alien thriller. 4 years later, at the age of 10, she would receive a Best Supporting Actress nomination at the Academy Awards for Little Miss Sunshine. In Signs, Culkin and Breslin play Morgan and Bo Hess, the young children of the recently widowed Father Graham, played by Mel Gibson. Along with the loss of their mother, Morgan and Bo are forced to contend with a terrifying alien invasion. While Gibson and co-star Joaquin Phoenix take top billing, Culkin and Breslin are at the center of the film's most powerful scenes. In one memorable scene, the family cooks everyone's favorite meals, knowing it could be their last. However, emotions start to boil over, with Graham shouting at his children, Morgan telling his father he hates him, and Bo crying over a plate of sauceless noodles. It's quite possibly the most human moment of Shyamalan's entire filmography, anchored by the genuine emotional responses of two incredibly talented child actors. The Happening features many questionable decisions, but young Ashlyn Sanchez provides a grounded performance that keeps the film from completely flying off the deep end. Considering the scope of the disastrous suicide plague of The Happening, Sanchez's Jess has been dealt a pretty awful hand. Her dad abandons her with two strangers to try and find his wife, who was already dead, only to die shortly afterwards himself. She also witnesses two other kids get blown away by a shotgun, gets slapped by an unhinged old lady for wanting to eat a cookie, and is stuck running for her life with incompetent adults. If Jess stopped in the middle of the film to throw a tantrum, no one would blame her. Instead, she's the driving force of the whole movie, proving that Shyamalan has a knack for nurturing the best performances from young actors. After The Happening, M. Night Shyamalan pivoted away from horror with The Last Airbender and After Earth. Both films were panned beyond belief, with many viewing them as the death rattle of the director's career. However, in 2015, the Unbreakable director staged a refreshing return to form with The Visit, which centered on the dynamic performances of Australian actors Ed Oxenbould and Olivia de Jong. The Visit is a found-footage horror movie about two siblings staying with their grandparents for the first time. The pair decide to document the visit and the terrifying after-hours behavior of Nana and Pop Pop. The young protagonists are required to perform in an incredibly and naturalistic way, which can be incredibly difficult to do without seeming over-the-top or theatrical. However, Oxenbould and de Jong are fantastic in this updated Hansel and Gretel tale, perfectly walking the line between relatable, cringy teens and rightfully terrified leads. Shyamalan struck gold with these two, but his balanced vision as a director kept their performances feeling authentic.
Would you mind getting inside the oven to clean it?
I'm sorry?
M. Night Shyamalan's Old is a horror movie about a beach that ages those who visit it. While the premise may seem questionable, the dedicated commitment of Alex Wolff, Tomasin McKenzie, and Eliza Scanlon as children in the bodies of 20-somethings is pretty special. Shyamalan directs Scanlon, Wolff, and Tomasin to act like children in a way that feels authentic to the vulnerability and terror of a child undergoing severe physical and emotional changes. The trio express themselves in the same ways children would, but within much larger frames. Wolff in particular is truly something to watch, completely throwing himself into the role of the world's tallest 6-year-old. Old proves, once again, that Shyamalan's greatest strength is in developing his youngest characters.